The huge successes of EA College Football, plus a look at the new Diablo 4 class, as well as the new Overwatch hero. All today on TouchPad. Hello and welcome to Cross Circle Squared. I'm Benny Gurkman and this is TouchPad, your daily video game news show. You can watch TouchPad live every day at 1 p.m. EST or here on YouTube and Spotify right after. But no matter where or how you're watching, it's time for the news. And first up on the dock today is the huge breakout success of EA College Football 25. I say breakout success, but was anyone not expecting this game to sell huge numbers? I was expecting it to be big, but it's hard to even kind of quantify how big actually is with this game, since according to EA, over 2.2 million people hopped into EA College Football pre-release. 2.2 million people paid $100, 30 extra bucks from the base game, just to play 3 days early. This is, of course, if you're one of those, why do all these game developers and game publishers have this early access pre-order bonus? This is why, okay? 2.2 million people paid $30 extra for 3 days of early access. Of course, we have some stats from Matt Piscatello, who reports on Circana's sales data for games. And according to them, EA Sports College Football is ranked number 3 in daily active users on Xbox, with only Call of Duty and Fortnite ahead of it. And the game is ranked at number 4 on PS5, with only Call of Duty, Fortnite, and GTA 5 ahead of it. That sounds, pretty good. That sounds like a good number. But again, these statistics are from the game in early access. The game is not out yet. It's a $100 pre-order version that these people are playing, and it is number 3 and number 4 on these charts. These numbers don't even count EA Play or Game Pass Ultimate players, since according to IGN, EA, if you quantify EA Play players, which is also Game Pass Ultimate players, that number reaches into the 600,000s, but is separate from their 2.2 million number given by EA. So that means that nearly 3 million people were playing EA College Football before the actual game even released. Of course, we'll have to wait and see just how many day one, week one sales the title gets on full release. But I don't know. It's looking like it's going to be pretty high. In other EA College Football news, the promised team builder, which was originally planned to be coming after launch, will actually make it into the game on day one. As announced via blog post over on EA's website, the team builder arrived last night, and actually this feature is kind of cool. You can access it via a web browser, and you're able to craft your own team down to the logo, the colors in the logo, the team nickname, team uniforms, the stadium. It's actually pretty incredibly in-depth, and something that wouldn't be super feasible in-game. So instead, you load up the web page, you make your team, and then you upload it, and then you download it once you're on your console. Which, honestly, in my opinion, is maybe even better than if it was built into the game, since there's so many specific options and customizations here that would be obtuse and horrible to fiddle with on a controller, and it kind of lives perfectly at home on a desktop browser. As an outsider, that is one of those one big features that college football has against a Madden game. As someone who goes to a school with a much smaller Division II team, I don't really care about the teams in college football. I don't care about the teams in Madden anyway. I'm just kind of focused on the actual game features. Is it fun? Is there stuff that's going to grab my attention? And this is one of those things that actually feels like an upgrade from any of the past Madden or even the older NCAA games. It's cool to see, and maybe also indicative of an iteration that we could see from these football games if they were, given more than a year in the oven. EA Sports College Football 25 comes out today, Friday. It's $70 for the regular version, console only and current gen only. And with the sales we're expecting, hopefully this also gives the current gen consoles the real boost they've been needing. Another big news today, we finally got a look at Diablo 4's Vessel of Hatred class. Just kind of a few details were actually announced today, but a bunch of outlets got to take a look at it. So we do actually have some good information. First, I'm gonna kind of summarize everything with the expansion if you haven't kept up with it. Most of this is pulling from the Blizzard blog post, which will be left in the description if you want to read over, see specifics about all this. But again, small summary first. This will be releasing October 8th. This is Diablo 4's first real expansion past seasonal content. And of course, It's Vessel of Hatred. There will be a new region added to the game called Nahantu, which is from Diablo 2. It's a jungle environment, pretty densely packed, and like everything in Diablo 4, it looks gorgeous. There will also be a new chapter in the campaign following the end of the main story. You're trying to find out what exactly happened to Neyrelle. It involves Mephisto, the Primevals, the whole Diablo shebang. There will, of course, be new content, new updates, balancing, all that sort of stuff. But to me, the most interesting thing is this new class. They're calling it the Spiritborn, and that's what we've gotten a look at today. There's some overviews put out by Blizzard, but outlets like IGN got hands on it with the new class, and so I'm pulling a lot from Travis Northup's impressions here. This article, of course, is also linked below as well if you're at all interested in Diablo. He talks kind of about, just how it feels and that sort of thing. But from a more like kind of overview position, the new class is very much less a rigid role like the base game class is. Instead, Spiritborn is more of a customizable template for you to use. There's 4 guardian spirits that you can use to craft your build, and one's about, physical damage, and one is about speed and agility, one's poison, etc. And you can use powers from each of these 4 spirits, and you can even use some abilities to sort of call them down and have them fight with you on the battlefield. It seems cool. If anything, it sounds a lot like Destiny 2's Prismatic class, where you can kind of forge your own path with what exactly you want your character to be capable of, rather than being stuck with, you can still do a build, but you're still stuck in the rogue subclass, or you're stuck with barbarian melee kind of stuff. It kind of opens up the game and the restrictions in that point of view. Overall, the expansion is looking up to be a pretty good step for Diablo 4. Of course, the game had a pretty shaky launch reception, but that has sort of since tempered out and definitely occupied players for quite a while, many hours, as David in chat would know. Again, Vessel of Hatred drops October 8th, costs $40, and there's actually a Game Pass discount of $4 if you're subscribed. We're not done with live service yet today, as Blizzard has announced Overwatch's new hero. This is Juno. She skates around, she has rocket boosters and some new interesting abilities like an orbital ray that she calls down that heals allies and increases damage. Plus, there's this hyper ring that she can put on the ground that when you run through makes you go really, really fast. Looks cool, I guess. Her primary does damage and heal, so she is a support character, but I don't know, she has lots of agility, she has cool abilities. Personally, I would have rather this been a DPS, but that's because I'm a DPS player. But yeah, I don't know. I like her character design. Looks cool. Her kick, or her melee is a kick move instead of a punch or anything, which, always feels good in Blizzard games or in Overwatch for some reason. Zenyatta has one. I don't know why. It just feels better than a punch. Overall, it looks fun. She doesn't look game-breaking at all, and she'll be free to play July 19th, that's today, through the 21st, Sunday. If you do miss that, she's not releasing fully yet. She'll be coming out with Season 12 on August 20th. So if you miss this weekend, you're going to have to wait a little bit, but once the season fully releases, you'll be able to buy her with, I forget what the currency's called, the Overwatch coins or whatever. Okay, like I said, we have tons of news today, so I'm cutting down some stuff, and we're going to do a bunch of rapid-fire quick stories. I have about 5 here for you. And firstly, the FTC is going after Xbox yet again. They've marked Game Pass as a degraded product with the new recent kind of, I don't know how you really call it. Its price increase is really what it is, forcing you to get the ultimate version at $20 if you want the same sort of experience that you used to get for $10. But it's also a price increase across the board. There's lots of it involved. Tom Warren spotted this over on Twitter with the FTC filing a document stating that the price increases like that, as well as the layoffs that we saw earlier this year, are, quote, hallmarks of a firm exercising market power post-merger. I don't think Microsoft is a gaming monopoly in terms of their original case, but this is certainly them exercising market power. Would these price increases have come if Microsoft never bought ABK? Probably, but I don't know if they would have been as quick and as severe as they are now. Or maybe if that many people would have lost their jobs as are currently now, trying to find other options. Again, this is kind of just a sad situation for Xbox. They really need some wins, especially this year. They had a great showcase over at Summer Games Fest, but I don't know. It seems like their PR nightmare is never ending. Into some more kind of businessy focused stuff, Ubisoft has released their financials for 2024-2025 quarter one. It's looking pretty good. Net bookings are up about 8% from last year, and that's actually over their targets that they set. Ubisoft says this is mainly due to X-Defiant's success, as well as business confidence going into Star Wars Outlaws and Shadows, two games that are probably going to basically print money for the company. Assassin's Creed always sells, even if there's controversies around it, which might bring it down from what it normally does. It still sells like millions upon millions. And Star Wars is like maybe the most recognizable entertainment brand, even if that also has been kind of brought down a little bit over the years. These are still two things that almost always sell gangbusters. Paramount has canceled their, how do I put this, interesting, mixed to poorly received Halo show. It's just had its second season earlier this year, but it probably won't have a third. The show's producers are seeking another network to pick it up, as Paramount isn't going to do it anymore. Funnily enough, the show hasn't actually even reached the Halo yet, despite being the namesake. So, good job, guys. Great show. The Fallout TV series might be coming sooner than we thought, or rather the second season of the Fallout TV series, as the show is apparently way ahead of schedule, according to Amazon's head of TV. They've gotten scripts in hand, no release window yet, but usually once you start filming and start the full production, shows like this release, within a year usually is what I see. So we'll probably be seeing it pretty soon, or at least sooner than one might have imagined just a little while ago. We actually have some more game adaptation news. I don't know why there's so much today. On the internet, there were some Minecraft movie images leaked online. Obviously, I'm not going to pull these up here because they are getting taken down all over the internet, and also because I have it pulled up on my computer. I don't know how to describe it except that it makes me feel wrong in my skin. They're like internally they make me suffer. There's some images of Jack Black as Steve, which is, fine, looks funny, haha. But there's like this weird looking grass creeper and some really horrid looking animals. This stuff looks really weird. It's giving kind of Borderlands movie fate. I don't know if this movie is going to be as much of a hit success as they're definitely hoping for over at Netflix. But I can't show you this, but it is on the internet, so you can look for it if you want. I don't know if I recommend it because you might be thinking about it at night for a couple weeks. Okay, let's go ahead and get to our releases and announcements. And first, technically not a game release, but I guess still an announcement. Atlas has announced a Café LeBlanc coffee line, as well as a Persona 5 hot sauce set. This is real, questionably worth it as a product, but I'm sure Persona fans will probably go rabid over it. Valhalla Cyberpunk Bartender Action, which is my favorite title ever given to a game. That game's developer, Sukaban Games, has released the first trailer for their new title, 45 Parabellum Bloodhound. It looks to mix the battle systems of Parasite Eve with a weird, cool-looking art style and hopefully some great writing. No release date yet, but you can wishlist it. I'll put the link below. In terms of actual full releases today, obviously there's college football on new-gen consoles, but for nerds like me, Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess releases today onto Game Pass, as well as all consoles, last and current gen, and PC. It has a 81 critic rating on OpenCritic, with IGN's Casey DeFreitas saying it's a fascinatingly fun action strategy hybrid with unique gameplay and impressive art design. This one looks cool. I haven't touched it yet. I plan to this weekend, but from all the reception that I've seen, it looks interesting, fun, something that we've never really seen before. It's not a genre mix. It's like a completely new kind of game, which is always good to see in this industry. But yeah, will it hold your attention for the 20-hour runtime or whatever it is? That's questionable, but it's on Game Pass, so hop in, play like 5-10 hours, and I think it'll definitely be worth it. Okay, that is all the news for the day. Thanks for coming in and watching live or afterwards. I always appreciate both. But that is all I've got for you. As always, I am Benny Gerkman. This is Cross Circle Squared, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.